Peter Ebdon, former world champion, world ranked 17, against Liu Song from Beijing, world ranked 88, and 8 is a very lucky number in China. Dennis, did you know that?
I didn't, John, but I do now.
Anything with 8 is very lucky, so maybe that's why he's having a good run at the moment.
Very solid player is Liu, whereas the glasses not quite as big as the ones that I wore, but you can see they're raised up there so that he doesn't look over the top of them.
Well, it's a bit risky this if he's coming off 2 cushions. He needs to hit this absolutely perfect, and he hasn't. That's a mistake.
And a miss. Peter Ebdon 7.
7 points given away. The miss won't be taken. Easy red to start with for Peter.
One.
Did very well to hold this from that angle. It's a very quick cloth, and that was pretty good to hold for the blue there. He's got a red either side of the bunch, but he's got a good angle to go straight into the pink if he wants here. Doesn't necessarily have to go into the pink. Even if he went past the left side of the pink and cannoned those reds, he'd be okay. So let's see which cannon he plays. Think the black's still available, but that was
6.
one of those situations where it was even better missing the pink and just nudging those reds around.
Seven.
And if he's got the right angle here on the black, he may be able to pot the black and just nudge the red away from the black and leave it for the same pocket as he's putting the black in. Perfect.
$14. 15. 22. 23. 30. 31.
Well, as we keep saying, it's always nice to get the opening frame and the best of 5 under your belt. He's well on his way here, is Peter. Yeah, he did well to beat Fergal O'Brien. 3-2 in the previous
38.
round.
I didn't see much of that match, Dennis. Did he play well? How's Fergal doing these days? He's been off the scene for quite a while.
Yeah, Fergal's coming back to a bit of form. Nice to see it as well. Yeah, good, solid match player, and well, it's always nice to win a 3-2, isn't it?
Well, it certainly gives you a bit of confidence. Well, would you believe that?
Peter Ebdon, 38.
Would you believe that? He looked in complete control. And you can never say with Peter he rushed into one. He asked for the cue ball to be cleaned, and well, whether he was putting a little bit of side on it and he threw it wide or not, I don't know. But that, well, you could see by his face, it was a stunner.
It is, because we keep saying his powers of concentration is quite amazing, but he certainly didn't concentrate fully on that one. As they used to say in the old clubs, JV, could have knocked that one in with the butt end of the cue.
Yeah, and just watching it again there, Dennis, I think he did try to play with a tracer side on. So this was an unexpected opportunity for Liu Song. Yeah, I think he's put a tracer left-hand side on there, and he just misjudged the throw of the cue ball. Careless. It's the worst thing in the world, isn't it, when you watch your opponent at the table thinking they should have all
8.
been mine. But Peter made the error. Introduced as the Beijing Bullet was Liu Song.
Not sure why. It's a funny nickname, isn't it, really?
It's a B, isn't it? Bullet, Beijing.
9.
You did well there, JV, to work that one out.
I was also noticing that Peter Ebdon's home at the moment is Hungary/Rushden. Rushden, Northampton.
Yeah, recently got married, didn't he, Peter? And it seems to have done the trick.
16.
He seems to be quite relaxed and obviously very happy.
Played that nice. He's got a perfect angle on the blue. The problem is, normally we say cannon into the pink, but the cannon's the pink's just a little bit away from the reds. So if he's going to hit the pink, he's got to catch it really full in the face here. He's having a look to see if there's a plant on anywhere, but from our position I can't see one. You'd think he'd want to play the cannon, but as I say, he's got to catch this pink full in the face. Well, he obviously thinks there's a plant
22.
in the middle. And he must be pretty confident it's there. Is it just to the near jaw? No, it was bang
23.
on. Now, has he got an angle on the pink to play a cannon? Because I can't see another plant.
Well, that's a poor effort. He was
Liu
trying to
Song,
force an
23.
angle, wasn't he, to bring a red into, but he may have pushed a plant on here, believe it or not. So not only has he missed the pink, he's just nudged a red slightly. Is it in line? No, it's not. So he's got away with that. Liu.
Well, just the safety, and, well, you can't get any safer than that.
Well, that's one of the best safety shots in this year's World Open. That was outstanding because he was trying to get in behind pink. And, well, the best of luck, Liu, here, because this is going to be tough to hit.
Well, Dennis, the telestrator's there.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to. He's so close to the pink. He's got to hit the baulk cushion. So I haven't even got room to get the white line in behind the white there.
Any reason why you can't play into the jaws of the pocket and send it up here? Because I don't see how you can judge an angle coming off the cushion so close.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Well, that angle didn't look on, but he may try it again.
Does it look? Yeah, Peter. Okay.
But even if he could pull this shot off, if he doesn't leave the white tight on the cushion, he'd leave the one to the right of the black. But
I like the line. I like the line. And I'll tell you what, he's not far off it, but is it going to be hard
Foul and a
enough?
miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
so he knows there is a possibility of escaping from this. The last thing he wants to do is slip past the red he's trying to hit and leave it on for the corner. That's in the pocket.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Peter's quite happy to sit there and see his lead extend.
In all honesty, this is such a difficult shot. You do well to hit any red here. I mean, normally you say hit and hope, but it's a case of finding a path to hit a red. He was nearly there, not the last time, but the time before. This could be better. Oh,
Foul
no.
and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Well, Arian Williams at the moment isn't even asking Peter, does he want the miss, does he? He's just picking it up and putting it back. Fifth attempt. Could be a few more here. I wish him luck with this one. No, don't think so. Pocket again.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
I think your suggestion, you know, the wobble it in the jaws of the corner pocket and just hope for the best, and he wouldn't have given all these points away. And you just never know what the outcome might be. He's already, what, 42 behind.
Yeah, and of course he can keep having a go at this until snookers are required. Closer this time. Well done. Well done. Okay, it was the 7th attempt, but at least he's still in the frame. And it's not too bad. He's not left an easy starter for Peter.
Yeah, I think the fact he's 42 ahead, he doesn't want to risk that one that's near the black, and there's no easy position if he takes that pot on, because the black's covered into the right corner. He would probably cannon into the black. So another red on a cushion and a good safety would be what he's after. But Peter does play the game his own way, and he may try and pot this and play the safety shot at the same time. Well, he's made a complete hash of that. Well, Liu Song can't believe it. In fact, he's at the table ready to play the shot. He couldn't believe what he'd just seen there. Well, that's careless.
One.
He potted the red into the side of the pocket. That's why the whites just ran away a little bit. Okay, he's still on the black, but he should have been plumb on it and been able to roll the black in and leave that red to the right. He just hit it thinner than he intended. Good recovery, though.
8. Nine.
Well, I'm not certain of the potting angle on this black, but maybe there's an opportunity. There's a red near the left-hand cushion. If he's got the right angle, why not pot the black and cannon into that red? Bring it out, away from the cushion. Could still be on the red that's in the middle of the table. Because he's going to need all these reds if he's going to win the frame at this visit. Well, just making certain of the black, but he had the perfect angle there to play the shot I suggested. This is the last of the easy
16.
reds, and after this, he's going to have his work cut out.
$17. Liu Song, 17.
I was trying a delicate little screw shot to hold for that red, and it was a shot before he could have done with a little touch aside to get himself nearer to the black.
One.
Nice pot there from Peter. 26 points to lead, but well, he'll do well to win the frame at this visit. If he played the green and tried to screw round off a couple of cushions, the blue may be in the way. And as we can see, that red tied up with the black. So you get the feeling that Liu Song is not out of this frame just yet.
Yeah,
Blue ball.
while he's playing the blue, the shot that John had mentioned was a possibility off the green, but he's pushing the blue safe. Yeah, the shot
Peter
that
Ebdon.
John was talking about was to pot the green, come around the cushions and try and get on that red. It was a possibility, but it's the sort of shot he might have played had he have been behind.
Well, another good pot. I think it's only for the 1 point. Don't see any value in potting the colour here.
What about in behind the pink again? Do you think he can do that off the green?
Well, maybe you could just roll to the pink, Dennis, and get the snooker that way. And cover it with the brown. Maybe he can't because he just looks a little bit further up. Well, he's putting the
Brown ball.
He's putting the brown safe. What is it? 27 in front. So, well, if he didn't pot the last red, he might need the brown himself. So I'm not certain that would be my choice. I think I'd much rather play the snooker.
Yeah, he must have looked to see if he could roll to the pink if he would have a snooker behind the brown. Man, maybe not. Might leave a little bit of the red next to the black sticking out. You see, if he rolls to the pink, well, dead weight on the pink's not a bad shot, because it would be a tough snooker to hit with the red being close to the black.
But as I say, he nominated brown, but then I think he's had second thoughts, because if he knocks the brown safe and he doesn't pot the last red, he'll need the brown. So he's using the green as a snookering ball, but it's quite an easy hit, this. He may not be able to hit it direct, but he can get to the side cushion. And as long as he hits the red reasonably full in the face, he should put distance between cue ball and object ball. And the way the balls are situated, you fancy, even though Peter's got a 27-point lead, whoever potted the last red would be favourite for me. Obviously Peter would be, because he'd only need the red, but can Liu hit this red and get it safe? Always trying to get the snooker behind the black. Risky. Too risky for me, that. I think there's red cuts. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, it just caught the yellow. But for that, I think it may have been in the pocket.
Getting a bit excited there, JV, in the opening frame. I nearly fell off my seat there.
$28 points in front, 27 left on the table. Snooker required.
Peter Ebdon 1.
So if Liu Song doesn't get the snooker, Peter Ebdon has won the opening frame.
Peter Ebdon 2.
Not the best. Peter's dropped himself right in trouble. Should be snookered. And if he can get tight in behind the pink, or even the brown, it'll be a tough one to escape from.
Yes, as you said, Dennis, he let himself in for that one. 2 snookers needed. For this green in the open, there's plenty of room to go around it.
Foul. Liu Song 4.
Yeah, had the white have come off the cushion, Lou could have potted the green, and look what the brown is. And easy to get in behind the pink.
Well, the one thing, if you don't feel you can get the snooker, the most important thing is to get the object ball safe. Because you don't want your opponent potting in this case, the green, because then the frame would be well and truly over. So, if you don't fancy the snooker, just make certain you get the green safe. But if you can get the snooker, well, has he got it? Not quite. That was a great effort.
Yeah, he's going to have to swerve it slightly. I'm just directly behind it, and in fact, it looks as if he's going to come off. Can he just snick on the edge of the green? Well, he did swerve it, and he created the potting angle.
In goes the brown, so that is definitely end of this first frame.
$12.
Well,
frame.
Liu Song
Peter
says that's enough. So Peter Ebdon missed a good chance early on. Liu Song had a chance, but it was Peter Ebdon who took that all-important first frame.
Give the second frame. Liu Song to break.
Bit short with the break off shot. Okay, he hasn't left anything easy, but it's always nice to get the white over behind the yellow and tight on the cushion.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Yeah, well, he knows the line as long as he can remember where he made contact with the cushion. A little bit more pace, everything will be safe. Well, he's changing his mind, which he's quite entitled to do. You don't have to play the same shot.
Well, it looks as though there may be a path back to the ball ken for Peter. Well short with his safety there, and gives Peter a chance. The black is available, so if you can knock this in, get on the black, decent chance.
The reason he didn't get on the black is because he queued right across that, and he's been rather fortunate. That was a bit of a shocker from Peter. Didn't like that one little bit. Well, that's not the best shot that Peter's ever played. So can the Beijing bullet get going here? Liu Song. That's what he's introduced as by our MC, Rob Walker. Oh, close.
Yes, we keep saying if you catch those near jaws, they're not going to go in.
One.
Well, that one went right in the heart of the pocket. So Peter gets another chance.
And although there's a couple of loose reds, he probably will play for them. There's 2 or 3 will go in the right corner here. So it wasn't imperative that he went crashing into the pink there. In fact, there's
6.
4 more reds available because there's one sitting up on the green spot.
7. $14. $15.
That's always the advantage of having a red in the ball, Ken, that if you do get the wrong side of the blue or come too straight, as Peter appears to have done here, then he has that other red to go at, but maybe he has a slight angle to come down this end. Although what on earth was that? I'm not quite certain.
20.
Funny enough, John, in his match against Fergal O'Brien, which I commentated on, it's amazing the number of times that he was way out of position. He was over hitting everything as if he was struggling with the pace of the table. And it's like that. If you're not cueing well, the table's so fast, it can make you look a little bit silly.
Peter Ebdon, 20.
Yeah, as we've said many times, and I know it's a thing that we've all said, that he's a very strange man to commentate on, Peter, isn't he? Because some of his shot selection sometimes is very strange. I know what you're saying there, he overrun, but he didn't get enough stun into the cue ball to get on the red that he played on. But that's 2 good chances he's had now, and he's not made the most of them. But at the moment, he's not leaving Liu Song much of an opportunity.
Gradually, the reds have opened up, and he's got the cue ball close to the cushion, which makes it difficult for Peter to return it to somewhere near the position it's in, which at the moment is the safety part of the table, anywhere behind the black. He's done well there. I mean, that's excellent. Now can Liu do the same? He could do with a pot, couldn't he? Might have to be a roll up here. He would have to just land on this red that's above the black. If he didn't get it right, he could leave the one next to the green potable. It's not tight on the cushion, so he could get the butt of the cue up in the air and possibly get it back, but it's not easy. Here we go. Well, he's left one over the middle pocket, so a chance for Liu Song to knock a few in.
One.
He got a terrific round of applause there. Know that it's a long time since he potted the ball. 32 minutes. It's amazing. He became the first Chinese player, believe it or not, to qualify for the final stages of a ranking event. That was the 2004 Welsh Open. Likes his football, and you know who he supports, John? He's a big Arsenal fan. He used to support Carlisle United, but now he's an Arsenal fan.
He saw the light, did he? An Arsenal fan. And such is the popularity of the Premier League.
$12.
Just look at Peter, the way he sits bolt upright in his seat. That's the sort of thing
13.
a sports psychologist would tell you to do when you're not at the table. Sit there upright and don't slump in your chair. Can't get more upright than that.
Well, he might be getting out of his chair soon, because that was a poor shot there from Liu.
17. Just again. $18.
Tell you who he reminds me a little bit of, Liu Song. Remember the Canadian Mario Mora?
23.
Similar size.
Yeah, similar stature. That's the only thing we're missing out at the moment, aren't we? We don't seem to have the Canadians coming through like they used to, do we?
They have their amateur championship. In fact, a couple of seasons ago, Kirk Stevens, the man with the white suit, won the Canadian Amateur Championship.
Yeah. But no, it's disappointing because we've had some very good players come from Canada, but not now. And
Liu Song,
that poor positional
23.
shot caused Liu Song to break down there. Don't know if these two balls to the left of the green are a plant. Well, I think if they were, Peter would have been playing them by now.
Yeah, look as if they're more towards the blue than, yeah, they're right in between the blue and the pocket.
Well, if you can get past the pink and hit that red, it goes in, doesn't it?
Might just be a bit thin.
Yeah, it's funny. Looking at that shot from straight behind, it looks as though he could pot it. But looking from where we are, I agree, Dennis. He's probably hitting the red too thin.
And the pink's too far away to try and just bend it round that. It'd have to be a delayed swerve. You don't see many of those played. That was one of your specialities, JV, wasn't it? A delayed swerve?
A delayed swerve, yeah. I've swerved a few things in my time, Dennis. I usually try to swerve them before before they get in front of me. Well, not quite as well. I presume Peter's trying to get the cue ball back to this end of the table, is he? But it's very dangerous if he does attempt that. Oh, he's played the pot, and boy, he's got it now. Is he going to finish on the black? Oh, my golly, he is.
Yeah, and he'd left that red if he didn't. I think he was hoping that he might cover the red, and he took the risk. But as it's worked out, he would have left the red. But he wasn't intending to finish on the black like this, to slip around the back of the black. But I suppose he deserved a bit of good fortune. Such a good pot. Still not going to be easy to clinch the frame here with the reds
8.
as they are.
Nine. $14.
He's just looking to see if the brown goes, because he'd have very little to do with the cue ball. If the red's straight here, he's got other options open to him, but I'm going to check it again. Brown does pot clearly, as you can see there.
15.
And it's whether the red next to it will pot, and you would think if he just screwed back about 6 inches, it would be on. Well, not quite 6 inches, 5.5 inches that was.
Yeah, we're still working in feet and inches, aren't we?
19.
Talk to the children of today, of course, and you've got a couple, Dennis. You've got to be millimeters now, isn't it? Centimeters? Are you into
20.
all that?
Not really, and kilos instead of pounds. And
Yeah.
remember the dear old Irish aunt of mine went in and said, "Could you 3 pounds of potatoes? 3 pounds of potatoes?" They said they're kilos now, so she said, "I'll have 3 pounds of kilos then."
Oh,
24.
Yeah, pretty good shot, and he's having the cue ball clean because of the way he's going to play his next shot. He's going to just roll the blue in, and that's the type of shot that you tend to get a bad contact on. You know, some of the great American pool players, John, reckon, you know, sometimes when you get a heavy contact, it's the way you cue the ball. There could be a little bit in that.
yes, and particularly with these super fine cloths, if you don't keep that cue parallel with the table, you're going to get a slight bounce. We've seen it so many times
31.
where we've shown you in super slow-mo the ball bouncing, and it's amazing. It only has to be coming down when it makes contact with the object ball, and it's not going to run through the same.
He needs one more red after this blue. So he's going to have to wait for another chance.
36.
But he's in a pretty good position. Might be able to lay a snooker up behind the... Well, I don't think he can get up behind the black here, but the pink and the green are not badly placed. Little thin one. No, that's careless. Okay, he hasn't
Peter
left
Ebdon,
anything, but
36.
he should have had Liu Song in a bit more trouble than this.
So now you see it, 37 behind, 43 remaining. So Liu Song, if he can create a chance, I think this is the problem he's having at the moment. It's Peter Ebdon who's dictating and winning these safety exchanges. He needs to win one to give himself a chance to get back in this frame. Now this could be handy if he could snooker Peter on both reds, but I don't think he's, well, I don't think he's covered the one near the right hand side cushion, but then Peter wouldn't really want to be playing safe off that. He prefers that on the cushion. Now can he get past the yellow to play a good safety off the red near the green? No, not really. So he may be forced to bring that red away from the right hand cushion.
He's got a lot of balls to snooker, Liu, behind here. The brown, the yellow, the blue. Well, he's made a complete mess of it. Look what he's done here. That's what he was doing in his previous match, you know. He was over-hitting them, John, as I mentioned earlier.
I can only assume he's concentrating that much on getting the cue through straight that he's hitting the ball too hard. Now, here's that chance I was talking about. It's not the easiest one, but if he can knock this red in, he has a chance of pinching this frame.
One.
Now, normally we see a lot of frames like this, and then you say, well, the man at the table now is now gone favourite for the frame, but, well, remember he's ranked number 88 in the world, so he's not been in these positions that many times. But this is a great chance.
It's just a bit awkward, isn't it, with the green up this end of the table. It's not a straightforward
6.
clearance. Would have been better with the green on its spot. So I'm just wondering what sort of angle he has on the red here.
Yes, and of course, being 31 points still in arrears, he cannot play for the green. I mean, in an ideal world, he'd pot the red, play for the green, get the green on its spot. I know what you're saying, Dennis. But he wants a higher value colour than the green, so I would suggest screw back for the blue here.
Seven.
And the pink is slightly in the way of getting nicely onto the green after he pots the blue. He'd have to play for the green, you would think, into the left corner pocket rather than the right, because he could snooker himself. So it's imperative that he gets nicely on the yellow to enable himself to get a good position on the green. Well, that's probably one of the worst positional shots that this young Chinese player has played
12.
for quite some time. He just didn't get into that at all. Now he's going to have to swing it all the way around the angles. There is a way around to get onto the green, but oh, he's got a long way to travel. That's where he'd have to go, somewhere near the line to get round onto that green. Can he pull this one off? The answer is no. The brown might help him here.
12.
And it has. Has it come to the rescue? Rather fortunate.
Well, he's a little bit fortunate there. That's the eagle eye of Arian Williams. Well, if he can't get past the pink, and I doubt he can, this isn't easy to hit. Because if he comes off the top cushion, the black is half covering the yellow. Well, can he just snick that?
Well, he's got to hit it, otherwise he needs a snooker, and he could easily hit the black coming off this back cushion.
Well played. Very well played indeed. So he's still in the frame. 25 points behind. Still 27 left on the table. Well, it was a difficult shot to get safe that, and he's left a straight yellow for Peter. He won't be too concerned about position on the green because he knows this yellow is frame ball.
There's the frame time just gone past 40 minutes. As he fluked it, he hasn't.
Well, I'd just like to know why he played a run through like that, Dennis. Why didn't he just stun it in? Well, here's another chance, Lou, and if you can pot this yellow, get position on the green, well, you should win the frame. If you don't, you'll be very disappointed with yourself.
He's just worried about that pink, isn't he? Well, what's he played here? Has he gone hard enough?
2.
Just about. I thought he'd underhit that. I think he did as well. Not get a better chance, just one more good positional shot. And that's not it.
9.
Okay, he can still pot the pink, but he's going to have to come off the cushion, and it's always better if you don't have to do that. Has he got enough pace on it? Otherwise, he's going to have
14.
to go all the way around the angles and avoid the middle pocket. The shot is on, but you know, it can go wrong. All the way around the angles, that's what he'll be looking for, somewhere near those lines. See, forgot the pink and it's going over the pocket.
Well, You'll
Liu
never
Song,
get a
14.
better chance than that, my boy, to win a frame. I always say the key shot in any clearance is brown to blue, and he didn't play it very well, but whatever you do, pot the pink.
So it's been a long frame, over 40 minutes. He'll be very disappointed, the young Chinese player. Peter Ebdon will be delighted. He's 2-0 in front. He only needs one more.
Well, our stats. In fact, I'm thinking of calling Steve Davis Bruce Wayne, you know, stat man. And nobody has come from this far behind in this tournament so far. Can Liu break the trend?
He hasn't looked comfortable out there. He must be a little bit tense and tight. And straight away, what a chance he's left Peter Ebdon. You don't get to this stage of a major tournament without being a good player, and obviously the television and the lighting seems to be affecting the young Chinese player.
1.
There's the lighting, and then we have the bank of lighting right over the table. Of course, with the lighting, it's important when you wear glasses that you've got the
8.
non-reflective coating on them. Otherwise, you get lots of glare coming in.
And of course, I remember a time when Ray Reardon had a big problem with it. He came on with a croupier's hat on, didn't he?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, he did. He played a tournament
Yeah.
with the croupier's little peak on.
Yeah. Deal or no deal?
Nine. Sixteen. Seventeen.
Of course, Peter's battling away for world ranking points. Dropped out of the 16 for the first time in
24.
16 years, believe it or not. So he'll want to get himself back into that elite top 16.
Yes, I think it's common knowledge. He's had a few problems off the table, and it does affect you, doesn't it? There's no doubt about that. It's okay, everybody thinks you just turn up at a tournament and play snooker, but certain things in the personal life can go wrong, and that just affects the way you approach and mentally, and this is all about feeling good mentally. But he's such a tough competitor, strong-willed person, Peter. You can bet your life he'll find a way to get back into the top 16.
25.
Meanwhile, he's overscrewed that. He's left himself straight on the black, so there's only one red at the left side of the bunch that's available to him. There's a little wry smile there, and he was very complimentary about the tables. He said, in fact, he said this table's probably one of the best he's played on, believe it or not. And But you've got to
32.
cue well when you table's quick like this. So one good pot here and a good position on the black to try and then disturb the reds. You see, he's overscrewed that by a few inches also. Can still play the cannon, but sometimes if you play it with a little bit of pace, you can arc the ball and finish up sliding off the side of them, John.
Yeah, I think with this type of shot, you can't play it hard because you don't give time for the backspin to take effect. There's that little line of 2 on the extreme right of the cluster. If he can just play a little gentle cannon into them, he may develop one for the middle pocket. But the harder he hits it, more likely to miss the cannon. Well, I don't think that black was as thin as we thought.
He still slipped off the
40.
bunch though, and it was very difficult to avoid that unless he played it a lot easier. And he's still got one pot. It's a tricky little one. Peter's had a couple of 30 breaks. This is the highest of the match so far. Oh, is that going to reach? Oh, it's not even in line. Is it going to reach?
Peter
No.
Ebdon 40.
Well, I'm very surprised he tried to hold for the black. It looked natural to go up for the table for the blue. Well, neither player can say that they've not had chances in this match.
One.
Well, he's going to have to sit and see how many. Yeah, I don't know why he tried to hold. Maybe he didn't try to hold for the black. He played for the blue and just didn't judge it correctly. But this is a key shot here for Liu Song. He knows that. He's got up from the table. He's looking at the angle of the black for the pocket. This has got to go in. And that
Liu
could
Song
be
won.
his last shot in this year's 12bet.com World Open. He's in the previous round he beat Joe Jogia, good friend of our colleague Willie Thorne. Joe from Leicester, but Joe didn't play well. He was very, very nervous against Liu Song, but Liu never shows much of emotion, but you could see him shake his head there. He will be so disappointed with this performance. But
Yeah, you can do a lot of things at this game, but
8.
the one thing you can't do is keep missing half difficult balls, and he did in the last frame. He missed a couple of half difficult pots. A yellow in particular, then he had another chance, he missed the pink. And that black, okay, it was an half ball pot. And at this level you can't afford to miss them. If you miss when you're in, you expect to lose the frame. And in this case, probably the
16.
match.
he's making
Peter
hard
Ebdon,
work
16.
of it, is Peter. 56 to 1 in this frame. Should have been over, but he's struggling a little bit as well. You wouldn't say it was a very fluent Peter Ebdon this evening. I'm sure he didn't play to leave the red for the corner.
One.
All that has gone on so far, wouldn't it be ironic if Liu was to clear the table here?
Yes, it's a funny game, snooker, isn't it? Sometimes, I mean, we watch matches
6.
where a player gets one chance and that's it. He doesn't take it and he never gets another one. And It's been littered with errors from both players, and chances coming thick and fast. It's one of those matches that you just feel if somebody could really raise his game, they could win it. Obviously, Peter Ebdon's a big favourite at the moment. Well, in fact, he only needs this frame to progress. But once again, you see, he's potted that. Now, for me, he's put an unintentional side on that, because when it came
14.
off the cushion, it seemed to check.
I mean, he had a wide margin for error. There's anywhere in that huge circle I managed to find, and he'd have been okay. Good recovery, though.
15.
But has he got an angle on the green to get into the reds? Maybe not. Might have.
Yeah, I think he just about has that angle, Dennis. But whenever he's played any sort of shot with pace, he's missed the pot. Best of luck with this one.
Oh, it was quite a wide target, but that's just the pressure that he's under. He didn't
18.
get anywhere near the 4 reds and pink. Needed a bit more side than that on it.
Liu Song 18.
Well, that's not the best of safety shots. I mean, when you're that close, you should be finding the baulk cushion, not the baulk line. And I think there's a red here, top of the 3 that's clustered together, that will pot into the right corner. Could be a frame and match winner. Got it much too thick, though. And Liu Song's going to get another chance here. Strange match, strange game from Peter Ebdon, who's usually so consistent. He's not queuing consistently this evening.
One. Six.
Just ran it a little bit further than he intended. It wanted to just be able to roll one in and get nicely on the black. Can't do that now. Head for the blue.
7.
Well, can he hold himself together, this young Chinese player, and take this frame and keep himself in this year's World Open?
Twelve. Thirteen. Twenty.
Well, when he had a chance in the last frame, we were putting obstacles in the way, saying the green wasn't on its spot and things like that, but there's no excuses here for not winning the frame at this visit.
21.
This is an ideal opportunity. After the blue, he'll need up to and including the pink to keep his hopes alive. And I can't see what the problem is.
26. 28.
See, he looks at the angle. He's the first player ever to do that was Matthew Stevens, the Quran, and look at the angle of the pot, and That's a mannerism this young player has. He's going to need the
31.
rest, being a left-hander here, but he's pretty good with the rest. Not the tallest player in the world. He's about 5'4", something like that, 5'5". In fact, in his last match, his pot success rate
45.
with the rest was at 100%. He potted, I think, something like 12 or 13 pots and never missed with the rest. Well, he's given himself
40.
a tricky pink.
But this for the frame and to keep his hopes alive. Peter Ebdon has had plenty of chances to clinch this match. It's there. Very well done.
46.
He doesn't need the black, but he'll just have a go at it anyway. But, well, Peter Ebdon, as he missed the boat
46,
because
on the
Liu Song
Liu Song.
should have been out of this tournament now. Peter Ebdon let him off the hook so many times, but he's right back in it. Just 2-1 behind.
Just caught the blue, but it's turned out. How often do you see the white finish there after flicking the blue? It's a good break-off shot now.
Yes, well, I think there could be a complete turnaround here. Caught the red much too thin, and normally if you catch the blue, as you say, but just flick the blue. But sometimes the balls don't forgive you, and Peter Ebdon had ample opportunity to have won this match by now, and I don't know. Winning that last frame as he did may give Liu Song the confidence he needs to take him all the way, because no matter how we look at it, no matter how experienced Peter Ebdon is, Dennis, he's obviously under pressure. I know he said he was fighting to get back in the top 16, but some of the shots he's played and missed are very worrying.
Yeah, he really is struggling with the pace of the table, and he did do, as I mentioned previously, against Fergal O'Brien in the last round. And Liu Song's got to be feeling a little bit more confident now, because he would have been sitting in his seat in the previous frame thinking, right, I'm on my way home.
Well, he's dropped this cue ball to the top cushion. I assume that he's not left the red to the right corner. No, I think if he had it done, I think Peter would have been playing it by now. In fact, Peter's going up to the balk end to see where he can leave the cue ball in the most awkward spot.
Well, he was going to glance off the left side, the red to the left of the bunch, but he's worried about leaving the one that's potable, the one just above the white. If he didn't get this absolutely spot on, he might leave a pot. So he needs to get close to the cushion if he glances off this. He's played that well. Covered the red I mentioned. I wonder, can he pass the pink just to flick one of the reds? Not the one that's closest to the pink. There's one there too from the black. Don't know whether that's available.
No, I'm
to
in
him.
line with that, Dennis, and he can't get past the pink. I think the blue might just be interfering, so he's got to hit this just right. And as he plays this, he may bring the black into play. And more importantly, gets a good cue ball. Now he needs to miss the brown. And he hasn't done.
One.
Well, good pot, and I think he may have had a result here if he can pot the pink. I'm sure he was trying to avoid the kiss on the second red to get up for the blue or something, but can he pot that pink? I'm not certain, you know.
Pink pot.
He's got to make sure he can, if he hits the red and pink at the same time, it'll be a foul shot. And you can see the pink pulling a little bit, but
Peter Ebdon won.
it's just strange how he got down. And
Well, I think he tried to flick it in with a tracer side, didn't he? But it was never in, and I don't think he could see enough of it to pot it, to be perfectly honest with you.
I noticed one earlier in the week pulling to that. That's the way the old cloths, the heavy cloths, used to play in the early days. They always pulled with the nap to the right, but it hasn't happened like that for years since we've had these superfine cloths.
One.
Not much use playing on the pink because it would tie it up at the moment, so you can clear a few reds away first.
Six. Seven.
Well, he has played for the pink, so maybe it doesn't tie it up. The fact he's removed one of the reds might leave it available. It's not available into the right corner, but it may
13.
and quite easily go into the left corner. I don't think he can get on it for that pocket this time, as you can see clearly there, so it's back for the blue. Oh,
14.
wobbled that one, but it's back for the blue for Liu.
Yeah, it looks a little bit wide, that, but he seems to have a little bit more purpose about his play now, doesn't he? Seems to have stepped up a little bit. He was up to about 34 seconds a shot. He's now down to 30. I think he's just beginning to get a little bit of confidence. And of course, that can happen when your opponent keeps missing, when you leave them in, and
19.
you don't get frightened so much. And Peter Ebdon, as I said earlier at the start of this frame, may just have missed the boat here. Obviously, Sugarman can play a bit because he wouldn't be at this latter stages of a major ranking event. So the fact that he's played poorly in the first few frames and Peter still hasn't put him away I'm beginning to wonder now which way this match is going to go.
Yeah, he's had to win 5 matches to get here.
26.
Played 3 before the televised stages. Well, he's never missed a ball with the rest. He's having to use the spider this time. Ooh, this black is tricky if he's going to take it along the cushion.
I have a feeling he played for the pink, you know, Dennis. Because if he was playing for the black, why didn't he just drop the red in dead weight? But because he hasn't gone far enough up the table and the pink would not offer him position on the next red, he may be forced to take this black.
Yeah, he didn't think he was going to get that little cannon. He was playing out for the pink, as you mentioned. He can still pot the pink, but I mean, if he rolls the black in, it looks like he would hold for a red, but that's tough under the circumstances. No.
Liu Song 27.
But it's a 26-point lead, and well, the way Peter Ebdon was shaping up in the last frame, you don't expect him to score heavily here, but you never know with Peter.
One.
Well, he purposely tried to develop this black, but surely it's too thin a cut. Yeah, I think he's just playing up behind the green and brown. Well, he's overcutted, believe it or not. And I don't
Peter
think it's a
Ebdon
big
won.
pocket, though. The blacks just come off the cushion a little bit, and not that he can see the red, the left side of the table, but might possibly be able to squeeze it in off that if you were right behind the red. Of course, the blue is blocking it. Didn't seem possible to overcut that. Might be in for a bit of fun and games with that black over the pocket there. Well, Liu feels that the red won't go in off the black. Peter's having a look at it. I think you'd have to be right in behind the reds to give yourself a chance. There's a long distance to catch the red, and don't think it's on.
Well, is there a gap between the two reds for Liu to have a go at trying to squeeze this red past the black? Probably not. I think he's just playing safe off the outside one of the three. Oh, he didn't want to leave this red on for the corner, though. And he's left Peter a chance of a cut here. That's a little bit careless. But once again, as I keep saying, you catch your bought colour, it can be costly.
The pot made much more difficult there because of the amount of side that Peter put on that. Is the cue ball going to pull up?
Foul.
Looked
Peter
as if
Ebdon
it was
foul.
going to stay there. Bit like one of your putts, that, John.
Yeah, where you stamp. Did anyone stamp? Stamp! And it went. But it hasn't really opened the frame up at all. It's just 4 points away. Nothing that would tempt Peter into playing a pot here. But would you want to put your opponent back into play? I don't know. There's the red on the right-hand side of the table. You could play across towards the black. Be pretty safe. But then why not put your opponent back in? There's no pot on.
He still feels that there's a slight chance he could get it in off the black, but I think it would double kiss if he didn't get it right. It would just double kiss the black and not go in.
I hope Peter's remembered that that white can be played from hand. Oh yes, he has.
Well, there's a pretty straightforward safety shot.
Yeah, but I'm just asking the question, Dennis. Would you rather play it or would you rather let your opponent play it?
I'd rather play it, try and get down behind the yellow or brown.
I'll ask you again. Would you rather play it or would you rather your opponent play it? Because I'm convinced now that he's going to go for this red and try and squeeze it in off the black. I think it'll just go.
But if he squeezes it in off the black, where's the black going to go?
I'd just be happy to pot the red. Do you think it's squeezable?
Well, see that shot, the picture we're looking at, you think, oh, this is easy, just hit the cushion, but it's not. He could easily double kiss this, but there we go. We'll find out in about 5 seconds.
Well, let me put it this way. The more pace he plays it, the more chance of missing it. I'd just be playing this dead weight off the left-hand jaw just to not nestle in off the black. Just like that.
You see, it was Peter's poor safety. Didn't get the white back up the table. And all of a sudden, in about 5 minutes' time, we could be looking at a decider. And you mentioned at the start about Liu being number 88 in the world and how lucky 8 was for the Chinese. You could be proved right, JV.
Yeah, it's only because I had a good friend of mine who, well, he had a horse and everything had to be 8, and apparently in China it's a very lucky number. So There's 8 points he's got. And what a chance
9.
to level the match now.
$16. 17. 24.
2 more reds, 2 more blacks, and we're going to have a 1-frame
25.
shootout.
And it has to be said, Peter Ebdon has only himself to blame. He should have been back in his hotel or in a restaurant or whatever by now. The chance he's
32.
had.
$33.
And being a left-hander, this is a piece of cake,
40.
this red.
$41. $48.
That's now the highest break of the match. Liu did have a 46 in the previous frame.
48 in the frame.
Peter
Liu
stays
Song.
in his seat. He should have won the match 3-0. He hasn't. We're into a 1-frame shootout. Liu Song has levelled at 2-all.
Nobody so far has come from a 2-frame deficit and won a match while we've been here at the SECC in Glasgow. This is a chance now for this young man from China to change all that. He was 2-0 down, looked down and out, it has to be said, but he's been let off the hook by Peter Ebdon. And at the moment, Dennis, I would say he looks the brighter of the two.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with you, but we know that Peter Ebdon, sometimes when his back's against the wall, he produces his best form, but he hasn't produced a great deal of form in his 2 matches so far here, because he could have lost to Fergal O'Brien. Well, that's an attacking safety shot, but look at the white. It's coming up past the balk line. It's as if Peter's thrown a gauntlet down here to the young Chinese player. He scattered the reds. Okay, didn't get the white where he wanted, but if this young player could manage to knock this red in, he may finish on the black. He could cannon another red and leave the black on. Big shot early on in the deciding frame, this. He's unlucky.
1.
You can still pot the black, but he's unlucky to go near the cushion there.
Yeah, you were right. He got the cannon, but he just wanted to hit the red he made contact with just on the left-hand side as we looked, and that would have held him perfect on the black. Would you want to risk this hiding frame? You're a brave man to take the black on.
Well, he's back looking at the black, but you know, I mean, if this was a practice session, you'd get down and you'd roll the black in and you'd clear up. It's not a practice session. It's one of the biggest games of this young player's career, you'd have to say. I mean, he's been a professional. Is it 5 years, John? Something like that?
Blue ball.
Yes, and also the winner of this match will
Liu Song 1.
go in the draw for a place in the quarter-final. So it's a big, big match.
Do you know, 7 years he's been a professional. Amazing. I didn't think he was a pro that long.
Yeah, 7 years. And no disrespect to the young man, but this would be the biggest shock of the tournament so far, really, wouldn't it? Peter Ebdon ranked 17. Liu Song ranked 88.
A wee bit of movement on that one. I think he's getting a little bit anxious now, is Peter. Now, the only thing that's come to his saving grace there, he's covered the black because there's a red on for the right corner. You can see that movement there in the cue action.
Well, that black maybe does go, Dennis. If it does, well, I'm surprised that Liu hasn't walked down here to have a look at it, because he has got this red to the right corner. Oh, he's coming down now. It's tight, but it goes.
Yeah, if you could get over behind the black, you would give yourself a chance of it, but he's almost dead straight on this red. So he'd have to leave himself with a little distance to the black. See the way he looks at the angle before he gets down to play the shot. Well, surely the first red doesn't go past the second.
Foul.
Wow,
Peter Ebdon foul.
what a strange choice in the end that was.
We could only assume that he was trying to whip one red into the other, because that red didn't pot, and he was just trying to get the cue ball back to the ball ken and called it too full. Went in off. Now will Peter be tempted by this long red, or the red that's near the left corner will cut? It's a thin one.
And it will certainly make sure that the black would be available once he removes this. Where's the cue ball going?
1.
Seemed to get too much side on that. He didn't want to be anywhere near that corner pocket, and he would have had a choice of the colours up near his hand there.
Well, that was a brave shot to take on, particularly after some of the pots he's
Peter
missed.
Ebdon 1.
But he doesn't look to have left anything easy. The red closest to the cue ball, I think, will go into the left corner pocket. But can he play it in such a way he can make it a shot for nothing?
Yeah, if he pots and he comes off this back cushion, he may go close to the blue. He's looking at an alternate. But no, he's just... I thought he was looking at an alternate. It's the way he looks at the angle of the red. Now, can he pot this? Can he avoid the blue? Back again, looking at the angle of the pot. Well played.
Done.
And he's okay. He's got an angle on the brown to get back up for a couple of reds. Should be able to negotiate position here. I'm just looking at it, and there's a couple of reds he could play on, and he's left-handed. If he takes the brown, he can swing it around the angles. There's a couple of reds to the right. There's one that'll go to the left. He's looking at the yellow, but you would think the brown would be a better shot. Okay, he's a left-hander, so maybe he might fancy the yellow, but that's where he's putting the cue ball. So anywhere up there.
Just coming up to match time now of 2 hours. And I'd have to say that if you can get this shot right, and you're still undecided whether to play brown or yellow, but if you can get this positional shot right, for me, it becomes favourite for the match.
Well, he could do it off one cushion, but he hasn't hit it hard enough. I'd always prefer to stun it around because you're coming towards the reds that way. And if he underhit it the other way, at least he would still have an easier pot than this. But well, he hasn't missed one with the rest yet, as you can see there. And it was be 10 out of 10. It'd be a good time to knock one in. Can he get to the potting angle of the pink? No, that's not on. He's looking at the black now, which is very difficult. The red, well, it's not right over the corner pocket, so if he plays a safety, he could do with covering that. I think if he had been right-handed, he might have had a go at the black, but it's quite a stretch, this, and the blue's hampering him. If he's back looking at the black again, and he's got that rest out again.
Just wonder what's going through Peter Ebdon's mind at the moment. He'll kick himself if he loses this match. And quite rightly so. The thing is about this black he's contemplating taking on, to be guaranteed position, he needs to do a bit with the cue ball, and that makes the black missable, so he's going to hope to pot the black and just trust to look for position for me. He's missed it. But as I say, I couldn't see which red he was ever
Liu
going
Song
to
6.
play for, so he was playing the black and just trusting to luck, and he wasn't on a red.
Yeah, I think he maybe even tried to cannon one of those reds. It was quite an attacking shot, but now that the black's over the pocket, he could be in for a little bit of fun and games.
But I pick up a point that you've mentioned quite a few times tonight, Dennis. He's over it everything, Peter, hasn't he? He's just over it in everything. Much too thick on that one. Much too thick.
Well, here we go. What a chance for Peter Ebdon. I know he's out of stroke at the moment. He's struggling, but he'll put everything into this long pot because he knows if he can knock this in, he could give himself a terrific chance. He's not cueing well, is he? And we've got another shot with the rest for this young Chinese player. Peter just cued across that slightly. He really has put himself under extreme pressure. You don't often see him shake his head like that. Do you know, he took so long over that. That's 2 in a row he's missed with the rest after in the 2 previous matches, hardly having missed it. But he seemed to take a long time there, so that's a bit of tension. It's quite understandable, the deciding frame. It's a big, big frame for this young Chinese player.
Yeah, and every shot now is just gaining in importance, isn't it? There's no safety escape back to the ball, Ken, for Peter. May be able to cut this red along the top cushion, but it's a very dangerous shot to take on. I think he can see enough of it. He's already played his one attacking shot, was when he opened the balls up early on in this frame, but you can open them up as much as you like. You've got to pot the balls when you get your opportunities. And that he's not done. Over a minute again, thinking about a shot. I think he can see enough of this red if he wanted to play the cut. I'm not saying he should play the cut, but with Peter you never know. Now he's just going to play safe off this red. He's had a look and he doesn't think he'll leave anything. So just the safety.
Yeah, I just wonder. I don't think he can take the double on the one that's next to the pink. If he had been slightly further up, he could have had a go at the double and left the white in a safe position, and the black would have been on had the double have gone in, but it's not the right angle for that. So if you screwed it back with right hand side, sometimes you can create an angle for yourself, and he might be able to take the double on. He tried to do that, but it's going towards the corner pocket. He got a good cue ball. He'll need that to go close to the cushion. Mind, you don't want to be taking these on at this stage, do you, John?
Not after some of the balls that Peter has missed. You'd bet long odds about him knocking this one in, but he was a bit lucky there, was Liu Song, not to leave this red a lot easier. The double, as you say, I don't think was on, and the pace he hit it, he could quite well have left it over the corner pocket. You know, there's a lot of pace in that shot. Could easily have left it easier than this. But it looks like Peter is thinking about taking the pot on. Well, this is a tough shot. This is all or nothing for me. The shots he's missed before could not have fancied him potting that. And there was no way it was a shot for nothing. So Liu Song has another chance.
I'll just show you that one more time. That was a very tough shot, but once again, he needs the rest. He's missed the last two with the rest, just purely with the pressure. And the key shot coming up here. Not easy to control the white with the black right over the pocket, but just wondering if he's got the other red that he could play on, the one that's closest to the black, but I'm just wondering if he'll try and play it with pace to go past the pink and maybe just open the reds up. Well, you know, there'll be a couple of reds available. He doesn't necessarily have to do that because when he pots the black, it's going to clear that pocket for a few pots.
Yeah, and there may be a possibility he could play for the red to the right middle as well, so he's got a few reds he can get on here. And this one that he can roll in and play for pink or black is the ideal red to be on. Peter Ebdon may not get another chance in this match. I know there's a lot of pressure on the young man, but I just feel now that this is an opportunity that he's going to take.
9.
An amazing game, isn't it? At one stage, Liu thought he was out 3-0. And if he can hold himself together here, he can put himself in the old hat for the next round. The draw will be made tomorrow.
15.
In fact, it'll be tomorrow night. And I think our colleague, the great WT, might be making the draw tomorrow night. I'm sure someone rang him while we were having a cup of coffee.
They want Willie to make the draw. Well, let's hope
16.
someone doesn't pull out 6 and 7/8.
It's okay. I think he might have to play for the pink
23.
here, but he can avoid the blue. He can just stun in behind the blue. A little touch aside will take him nicely on the pink, and with the reds up the other end of the table, it doesn't matter which side of the pink he gets on.
24.
Yeah, true. That's the advantage of this visit. those two reds in the baulk end. Oh, and I would have liked to have had an opportunity to come on these reds and play for the black, but he's only got to run this in and just avoid a or if he plays the stun, just avoid the cannon on the brown. This pink will put him 32 points in front.
You know, his best ranking performance was a quarter-final of the Grand Prix in 2007. And this is taken over from the Grand Prix. This World Open. With its new format of the best of 5 frames. And I think it's proved quite popular. The players might not like it as much as the public, but I think it's a good format, John.
Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 matches that haven't really caught the imagination, but we've certainly had a feast of snooker today. In fact, yesterday I thought that match with Steve Maguire and Judd Trump was an excellent quality.
Meanwhile, he got a little bit tight in the arm there because he's under-hit that, and he's shaking his head, which not a good sign. It's probably better not to do that because you're sort of putting little negative thoughts in there when you shake your head.
Yeah, and this is the last place he wanted to be. One of these, I think he's going to have to dig down a little bit. Well, he feels as though he can just play plain ball. I'm not certain he has got the angle. No.
Liu Song 31.
Can you believe it? I mean, what a golden opportunity he's let slip there. It's the previous shot. He shouldn't have been anywhere near the cushion. Just tension, that all that caused the problem there.
Now, last chance, I would think now for Peter Ebdon. He's got to somehow dig deep. Now, I'm not certain the availability. Does the right-hand red of the 3 go into the left corner?
Must be tight, that, John. Oh, there you see it.
No, it doesn't. So he's going to have to play the cannon. So he needs a bit of luck. I don't think he can risk playing for that red in the baulk end. He's got to play the cannon here. And so you always need a little bit of luck.
Well, what has he played here? It looked as if he could play the cannon on the end red quite comfortably, and I don't know whether he's thinking right. I mean, surely he's played the cannon there, and it looks as if he's just stunned up for that other red.
Well, as I said, I mean, for me, he had to play the cannon, because playing for that red, you had to have pinpoint positional play. And he needs those reds open anyway, so why not do it then? Okay, you could say he's unlucky to come hampered by the green, but well, there's no way I could have played for this red.
Well, he's playing this left-handed. He's hampered with the green. He wants to play it left-handed. I think the Spider's a better... I think Ronnie O'Sullivan might struggle to knock that one in with his left hand. He's got the old the swan neck out. Swan neck Spider.
Well, this is tough. Why would you need the extended Spider when you just one ball to bridge over? You just need the ordinary Spider, don't you? He must have asked for it, because Arian Williams wouldn't have. He's going to play it left-handed.
Well, you don't practice this type of shot, do you? Bridging over a ball. It looks pretty good left-handed.
Well, over 1.5 minutes now on this shot. I don't think he can reach over to play it right-handed. Back to the left hand. Oh, well played. Well played.
9.
I'm just wondering if the right red of the little triangle there near the pink spot goes into the right middle pocket, because if he removes that, he's going to clear another one. So I can only feel that last time that he didn't go into them, he's just not thinking positive enough. He's thinking, well, if I play the cannon, something might go wrong.
Yeah, there you see it. That red is on, but that's still no excuse for me for not playing the cannon before. But he's managed to overcome that difficulty with a terrific shot left-handed. Where's the cue ball going?
Foul.
Oh, well, that's unlucky.
Mind John, he shouldn't have been anywhere near the pink.
No.
He
Peter
just
Ebdon,
can't
9.
control that cue ball. He hasn't
Liu Song
done
4.
throughout the match, has he?
No, he's just got no judgment of pace whatsoever. I mean, this was travelling much too hard anyway. I mean, unlucky to going off, but as I say, sometimes the balls never forgive you. He's had umpteen chances tonight, Peter, to clinch this match, spurn them, and as I say, lady luck can just turn against you.
Yeah, that last shot that he overscrewed, there was a straightforward little shot on. I was surprised. See, if he just pots the brown and just stands up somewhere near there, he's got that easy red, but he hit the pink. I'd say I was unlucky to hit the pink and going off, but what was he doing anywhere near the pink? And now if the cannon works out for the young Chinese player, he'll have a great chance to get through to the next round. Doesn't want to go straight into the reds. He wants to just sort of a half ball flick on the right one would be okay. But I suppose at this stage, just make sure you get the cannon and don't take your eye off the black.
Yeah, make certain you don't miss the black. But yeah, certainly favour it in the right-hand red of the three, as we look. He hit it full in the face. So, 36 points to lead.
8.
He still needs red colour and one more red.
He's looking at the angle. This is one of his mannerisms. Gets down behind the ball and looks down into the pocket.
Yeah, just looking at it, if he was to pot this red and get on the black, the red and the black would put him in the snooker's required stage. Well, he didn't play for the black. Now, where's the red going?
Where he's put the cue
Liu
ball,
Song
John, tells me he was hedging his bets, and that's, you can't do that. You've got to commit fully to that pot there.
Yeah, I don't know though. But well, if you're gonna edge your bets, why is it so hard? You know, I mean, that red's come up and down the table twice.
He never even thought of your shot. He could have quite easily have screwed back for the black, and you know,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have left anything, would he? The two reds are safe.
Only the red he was playing. Well, there's so many twists and turns here. It's like snakes and ladders.
And that's lucky, because that's not what he played there. He overhit that again. He tried to get in behind the yellow and he overhit it, and he somehow got behind the green. Now have a look at this shot that he's played. He's trying to stun in behind the yellow, overhit it by a long way, flicked the yellow and gets behind the green. Now that was fortunate.
I don't think the two reds that are together in the middle of the table are in a potable position, so if I was Liu, I wouldn't be looking to hit those two. I'd just be trying to hit the one in the middle of the table, but we know how this misrule can be so costly, and that red in the middle of the table, it's so much room to go around it. You give 20 points away quite easily here. And 20 points would be quite a lot in the state of this frame. Oh, nowhere near.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Well, I'm sure he'll have it replaced. There's no way in the world he's going to play the next shot. I don't know why he wasted the shoe leather.
With these new cloths and fast cloths,
Peter.
not easy to judge the one cushion escape. How can he remember where he hit previously and readjust? Well, that was closer.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
So that now tells you that the miss will be called until he hits it, no matter how close he gets to this red. I suppose the thinking behind that is it's an easier escape to play on the two reds. So third time lucky, and can he get it safe? No, he's doing it again.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4.
Maybe you should go and put a little chalk mark on the cushion, because he's not readjusting, is he?
I don't think you're allowed to do that, are you, Dennis?
I was only joking, John.
Costly, isn't it? He had a good lead not so long ago. It's been reduced. And it's going to be reduced by even further.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 4. Free ball. Yeah.
Yep, no reason at all why Peter would not want it replaced, even though that was a snooker. Because apart from the way he's playing it, if he hits this red full in the face, every chance he's going to leave it on.
Well, he can't put a little chalk mark up on the table, but I can put the little white line, but he's got to get somewhere near there. And if he had hit it harder, he might have potted it in the middle pocket.
Well, he hit it eventually, but not before. He gave 16 points away, 16 vital points at this stage of a match.
It's been quite hot out in the arena this evening. A few of the people come up to the players' lounge and said that it was very hot in there. It's certainly hot for these two players at the moment. Everything's a struggle for Peter.
Well, if you watched his arm there, he almost trying to steer it in the hole. It looked wide. Look at the cue, how he's trying to swing it wide. He's just lost all his rhythm and everything now.
And if he's straight on the pink, he can't do anything about the two reds. And it looks pretty straight to me, yeah. Slight angle, but
I just think the way he's feeling at the moment, he wouldn't even fancy potting the straight pink.
well, he's looking at the yellow and the brown now to see if he can take one of those and get up for those two reds. Or
Yellow
is he
ball.
just playing the snooker in behind the brown? I think that's what he's doing.
Peter Ebdon 1.
got to play the 2 cushion escape here and hope that he can glance off these 2 reds, or one of them.
Yep. And he's going to come. He's got to come down the side the blue's on here. Don't come the side the pink's on. Come down the side the blue's on.
Yeah, it gives him more margin for error, doesn't it? But it looks as if he's going to go 1 cushion, but if he hits the reds, he's going to push them on, you would think. He's got to try the 2 cushion, get out and flick them. That's what he's doing now, but he could quite easily hit the pink going this side. That's why John suggested the other side of the table. Dead weight.
Is it hard enough? It's a good line.
Oh, and a miss.
Well
Peter Ebdon
short.
4.
Well, Peter Ebdon is getting back in this frame with fouls. It's as simple as that.
Well, has Liu Song missed the boat because he had a great chance to clinch this match, and now he's having to struggle. That's not going to reach either. In fact, he's got the wrong line this time.
Foul and a miss. Peter Ebdon 6.
Yes, just rub the pink. So, look at that.
Peter.
When he had a chance of the 3rd last red, Liu Song was 36 points in front. Peter Ebdon has potted 1 red, and there's only 9 points in it. Good hit, but it'll be touching, I would have thought. It's bound to be a touching ball.
Yeah, just stuck on the red, didn't it? Which makes a big difference. Peter can now get that white in behind the green. You could play it in behind the yellow. It looks easier to head towards the green. Can he judge it? Well, he needs to put a very good safety shot in here. Just over 40 minutes. We've had a couple of frames last over the 40-minute mark. The second frame was 43 minutes. Opening frame was almost 30 minutes. So this is a big shot for Liu here. He's got to avoid the blue, and he could possibly get back up behind the green. A little bit harder and he would have had that. Now the chance is there for Peter Ebdon, and can he cue this one smoothly? Well, does the red pass the pink? Has he got away with it? One of the reds must pass the pink. He'd like the one nearest, but I think, yeah, there's just enough room. Now, is he going to fully commit here? Try and pot this and get on the black? It looks as if he wants to screw it back, so that's telling us that he doesn't want to leave the red to the middle pocket. That's why he's coming backwards. Yeah, he was a bit reluctant, wasn't he, to run through for the black there. He was using the options again there, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's understandable. We're now getting down to that horrible nitty-gritty part of a match where mistakes from both players and both players frightened to make that last mistake, if you like.
1.
Well, I suppose for Peter, the way it's gone the last few frames, he'll be pleased with the pot. I don't think he'll be going for anything else. Snooker behind the green looks the order of the day.
Green ball.
But he's not played it very
Peter
well.
Ebdon 1.
I.e. it's easy to hit.
Calm down now, boys. Okay.
Well, he's got to try and get a bit of distance between them, because if he tries to land on this red, he could put himself bang in trouble again. I know he doesn't want to push it into a potable position, but if he just plays a dead weight, he could be snookered then. Let's see how he's going to play this. He's playing to land on it. He could stick himself right in trouble here. He might not like the next shot.
Yes, exactly what you predicted, Dennis. Still amazing, isn't it? He had a 36-point lead when there was 3 reds left on the table. Peter Ebdon has potted 2 of those 3 reds. No colour to follow. And now there's just 8 points in it.
You'd have to put that last shot. I know it was risky to play it at pace, but he better playing the shot and leaving a bit of distance between the red and the white, rather than just dropping yourself bang in trouble. And he needs the middle pocket's in the natural escape route. He's going to have to make this angle, which he did do. Now, how's your luck? Yeah, you see the previous shot, he could have put a bit of distance and he probably would have got a bit of luck. Now he's handed the chance to Peter Ebdon. Maybe a little bit of experience playing a part there, John?
Yeah, well, as you say, though, he's been a professional 7 years, and in all honesty, he had a chance. Peter Ebdon, to me, had just lost it completely, and he was in amongst the balls, Liu Song, and didn't win the frame. And will he get another chance?
1.
The blue is the only stumbling block for Peter, you would feel. Well, look at this again. Look at this shot. It got all the room down the right side of the table, and look where he puts the cue ball.
8.
He's been like that in these 2 matches. He just overhit so many shots. That's got to be tension there, John.
Well, there's something wrong with his cue action. He's just not hitting the cue ball. I mean, he's just not going where he's aiming it, purely and simply. I mean, as you say, there was so much room down the right-hand side of the table. Points are level. And at the moment, he's winning this frame just purely and simply by getting snookers and forcing foul points out of his opponent.
I was going to say, if he had been tied up against the green, this would have been almost impossible to get out of. But he can see the side cushion. You can look all day at this shot. All you've got to do is hit the cushion and just hope for the best.
Yes, and hit it hard.
Foul.
Too much
Miss.
side on it, and that's a free ball
7
as
the free
well.
ball. Peter Ebdon.
Didn't call a miss there, the referee, and then didn't hear the missed call anyway.
Do you know how many points he's given away in fouls, John? 37 points.
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
He must have called miss, so he's having it replaced. I can understand it because I don't think Peter's really that confident at the moment. I mean, he could have potted the black and got it half on the yellow. I was surprised that Liu Song didn't hit the yellow here. It doesn't look that difficult to hit. Just got too much swerve on it.
Back. Okay.
I mean, when we were looking from behind the shot, it didn't look as though he needed to swerve it. I mean, just put an extra bit more side on.
Too much. This is where the players are very fair.
Left a little mark, I think.
I mean, it's tough for the referee, even with the monitor, to get it absolutely right. But we know that the shot was on because he slipped past the yellow. So Peter won't even get involved in this. He knows that Liu Song is
Thank you.
a proper gentleman, and player never tries to gain an advantage from that type of situation.
Well, he's digging in again and get too much side on it again. Well, this time he's hit it and he's got it safe. It's safe, okay. So this frame and match still very much in the balance.
You'd think if he sent the yellow up and down the table, he might possibly get the snooker behind the blue. Now he's looking for something that's going to put Liu Song in much more trouble, but at this stage, make sure you get a good yellow. Get the yellow safe.
Well, that's brought the blue into play, so you would think whoever pots the yellow wins the match. You would think that, but after what's happened, I wouldn't like to bet on it.
That's not bad, because just at first glance, there's no easy safety shot. He can't come off the right side of the yellow as we look at it. He'll cannon into the black, send the yellow into the pink. Who knows where they would finish. If he goes the other side to double the yellow back up towards the brown, he could get a double kiss. He might finish up having to take this pot on. That is typical of Peter Ebdon. All the pots that he's missed, John, and when the pressure is at its highest, he knocks that in.
It is unbelievable, isn't it? There's no rhyme or
Five.
reason to this game sometimes. I mean, I just can't believe it. He was forced into it, as you say. You give all the reasons why he couldn't play the safety, and now he's just this brown and a blue away from going into the quarter-final. Liu Song's had his chances. It's only himself to blame. But what a shot that was on the yellow. Unbelievable.
9.
An absolute gem this was, right in the centre of the pocket.
And in goes the blue. And quite remarkable. Whoever lost this match would be kicking themselves, but it would be Liu Song who will be ruining those missed opportunities. But after that yellow,
Peter Ebdon, 14.
that deserves to win any match, and probably has won it for Peter Ebdon.
You think he's happy?
I think a few years ago when that yellow went in, he'd give it the old, go on, wouldn't he?
Yeah, with the old ponytail
Yeah.
at the back. Well, he's given Liu a bit of a chance of a snooker here. A little thin snick off the pink might get him in behind that.
Yeah, but 2 snookers on the pink, it's a big ask, isn't it? Wasn't a bad line, but it's not hard enough. And the pink's going to drop. Quite a remarkable match. How Peter Ebdon has won it, I still don't really know. But it was that one shot on the yellow and a few inexperienced mistakes from his opponent, and Peter Ebdon is in the draw for the quarter-final. Somehow he wins 3-2.
Cheers, thank you. Well done. Oh dear, that was hard work, wasn't it? Sorry to keep you here so long.
I feel up in the moment.